Hey, do you think you're smart? Think again, because after this video you will realize that you have been lied to and spread common misconceptions your whole life. But don't worry, because I will make sure by the end of this video you will be a well-educated individual. Imagine brave Viking warriors ready for battle, with horns sticking out of their helmets. It's a cool picture, but it's not true. We've looked at old stuff from Viking times, like the things they left behind and old stories about them, and we haven't found any real helmets with horns. The helmets that real Vikings used were actually more practical. They were made to protect their heads in fights, not to look fancy. These helmets were strong, usually made of iron, and some had leather padding inside for comfort, but no big horns on top. So, why do we think Vikings wore horned helmets? Well, a long time ago, artists and writers wanted to make Vikings look really interesting in paintings and stories. They added those horns to make the Vikings seem even more fierce and exciting. And that's how the idea of Vikings with horned helmets became popular, even though it's not true. In the end, real Vikings didn't wear horned helmets. They wore helmets that helped keep them safe in battles. It's fun to learn about the real history of these amazing warriors and see how stories can change over time. Picture this, the great Napoleon, standing shorter than most, a classic image, right? But wait, here's the truth. Napoleon's height was about 5 feet 6 inches, which was pretty normal back in his time. The whole short Napoleon thing might have gotten twisted over the years. So, why the mix-up? Well, blame it on the way the French and the English measured things. They had different systems, and it seems there was some confusion. People from England, where the inches were different, thought Napoleon was shorter than he actually was. And that's how the idea of Napoleon being super short spread around. Let's put the height talk aside and focus on what made Napoleon famous, his amazing strategies and leadership. Instead of remembering him for his height, let's celebrate his cleverness and his impact on history. Imagine Christopher Columbus setting off on his epic journey, determined to prove Earth was round. Sounds exciting, but here's the real scoop. The smart folks of Columbus's time already knew Earth was a big ball. They weren't convinced it was flat like a pancake. So, what was Columbus really up to? His argument was with the big shots who were funding his voyage. They disagreed about the size of Earth, not its shape. Columbus thought Earth was smaller than most people believed, which would make his journeys to Asia shorter. Those backers weren't sure about his math, and that's where the tension came from. Columbus had a solid grasp that Earth was round. He wasn't out to prove something that everyone pretty much agreed on. He was aiming to find a new route to Asia, and he had the whole round Earth thing in the bag. Let's put the myth to rest and give Columbus credit for his daring spirit and his journey into the unknown. He wasn't battling flat Earth believers, he was just navigating his way through a debate about Earth's size. It's funny how stories can get mixed up over time, but that's what makes history so intriguing. Imagine Salem in the 1600s, a place gripped by fear and suspicion. Accused witches were not burned alive like you've seen on screen. No, the reality was chillingly simple. They were hanged. The witch trials didn't involve burning at all. The idea of witches being burned is more connected to a different time and place, Europe's witch hunts. In places like England, they did use burning as a punishment for witches. But in Salem, it was the gallows, not the stake, that awaited those who were accused. This fact reminds us of the weight of history's darkest moments. The Salem witch trials were a complex and tragic episode, and understanding the true details adds depth to the story. It's a sobering reminder of how things were, and how stories can sometimes get mixed up. Imagine that period, and you might think of darkness, stagnation, and ignorance. But hold on a moment. While challenges were there, so were amazing things, art, culture, and learning. It's not as simple as dark versus light. The Dark Ages label is like trying to squeeze a big puzzle into a tiny box. Scholars and thinkers of that time made remarkable strides, from preserving ancient knowledge to creating beautiful works of art. It wasn't all doom and gloom. The term Dark Ages has gotten a bad rap, and historians are saying no more. It's too negative and doesn't capture the full picture. Instead of a period shrouded in darkness, it was a time of complexity and change. History, like a tapestry, is woven with many threads, some vibrant, some subdued. So, let's appreciate the hues and shades of the early Middle Ages for what they truly were, times of challenge and accomplishment, all part of the rich tapestry of human history. After hearing all these facts, you're probably embarrassed on how stupid you were before. But after watching this video, you will sound like a genius at your next family gathering. Show your whole family what a well-educated gentleman you have become. But that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.